work in harmony with the executive is anathema. That is not the way the presidential system of government was designed to function, and I'm not for any adversarial or acrimonious relationship. I intend to work closely with President Buhari in the interest of Nigeria without compromising the integrity of the National Assembly as an independent arm of government with oversight powers as spelled out in the Constitution. As lawmakers, one of the powerful tools we have for our work is the power of oversight, which is meant to enhance transparency and accountability. In exercising these powers, we'll not only review, monitor, and supervise projects being implemented by the executive, we'll critically examine them vis-a-vis the cost and whether they align with our national aspirations as a country. And we will follow the progress of these projects right from conception to when they are finally delivered to our people. But we will do so with every sense of responsibility. I've been in the National Assembly since 1999, first as a member of the House of Representatives, and from 2007 as a senator. So I'm conversant with the role of the legislature and the principle of separation of powers, both in theory and in practice. The system of checks and balances, which we practice in Nigeria today, was enshrined to safeguard the values of justice and the rule of law and deliver public good. Therefore, in a season when majority of Nigerians are more concerned with outcomes that reflect their concerns, the best way to serve that interest is through cooperation and collaboration. In a period of dwindling resources amid rising population, the expectations of our people remain huge. But to deliver those essential services, without which our society can neither develop nor thrive, the executive and the legislature must work together. So in exercising our mandate as lawmakers, we must at all times and in all circumstances be guided by how our action will positively impact the greater majority of our people. Each of us as lawmakers must also resolve that the exchange of views, especially within these hallowed chambers, will be constructive and that we will respect one another. Tolerance, which we cannot legislate upon in these chambers, is a virtue we must all strive to promote in a bid to reposition our multi-ethnic and multi-religious country. On my part, I pledge to lead in a bipartisan and unified manner. Distinguished colleagues, it should worry us in this chamber that majority of our people still grapple with extreme poverty, but while how to tackle the growing inequality should be part of our legislative agenda, the security challenge posed by insurgents, kidnappers, armed robbers, and other criminal cartels from north to south, east to west, will require our collective efforts. We also need to consolidate on the oil sector reforms started by the last Senate, even as we help the executive to reinvigorate the war against corruption with necessary legislations. If there's one issue that is dear to me and which we must all take very seriously, it is that more than 10 million of our children are out of school. As a former lecturer who has also in the past chaired the House of Representatives Committee on Education, I subscribe to the view, and in quotes, that all children, no matter where they live or what their circumstances, have the right to quality education. Even though primary education is officially free and compulsory, over 10 million of the country's children aged 5 to 14 years are out of school, and that is not acceptable. This is a challenge for us in the next 4 years. I'm well aware that the problems of our country are quite enormous, but they are not insurmountable. If we all work together as members of the same government with different roles and functions, we'll achieve our goals to better the lot of the Nigerian people. Once again, I welcome you all back to Abuja. Now let the real work begin. Thank you very much for listening. Senate Leader. Point of order, Aisha to Ahmed Odibo Binani.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Aisha Ahmed Binani. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Aisha Ahmed Binani, Senator representing Adamawa Central. I stand with regards to the standing orders 2015 as amended, I'm standing on order 42, matter of urgent public importance. The matter for this, which states that the matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless if he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Mr. President, the subject matter is a very, very sad one. There's about 10 patients losing their eyesight at the National Eye Center, Kaduna. Mr. President, respected colleagues, a recent report as published by the Nation newspaper.
Distinguish, you don't have to go into the details. You can sit down, please. The distinguished senator discussed with me the issue she has just read under Order 42. And by our standing rules, we need the endorsement or the support of at least 1/5 of the senators present for us to take it the next legislative day. So I put the motion. Those in favor that we take the motion the next legislative day say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So tomorrow come up with your motion with all the prayers that you need. Tomorrow is the next legislative day. Distinguished Senator George Thompson Sekibo.
Mr. Senate President, or President of the Senate, I am Senator George Thompson Sekibo, CON. I represent the Rivers East Central District. Mr. President, I'm coming under Order 42. Matter of urgent public importance. You allow me, I may read 1 and 2. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. If the claim is allowed by the President of the Senate, and the leave of the Senate is given by at least 1/5 of all the senators, the matter shall stand over till the next legislative day. Mr. President, while we are on break, there was a major pipeline explosion.
Senator Sabia, the Deputy Chief Whip, do you have a point of order? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, it's a point of order. Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My point of order is on the same order that my most erudite and distinguished colleague came under. The third item there said not more than one such. Yes. Why that?
Please, distinguished senators, listen to him in silence, let him land. Go ahead.
Thank you. Why that is true, I think the mayor also needs to be taken as a decision, not to hide it. And I thought it is important you go through to the end, so that if it is our wish that we may consider that, I think it This is my point of order, Mr. President. Thank you.
The Deputy Chief Whip, I want you to also read, or maybe I will help with that, 42(3). Not more than one such motion may be made at the same sitting. I have decided, based on the use of the word may, to allow the ranking distinguished Senator George Thompson Sekibo to present his motion. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President of the Senate,
thank you.
Well, I thank you very much for interpreting the rules very well.
We are not surprised.
We are not surprised that that's what we do, and that's what we'll be doing. Mr. President, there was a pipeline explosion in a community called Konkom in Oyibo local government area of Rivers State. And as usual, and what always follow pipeline explosion in the Niger Delta area. Scores of persons died, and scores of persons died and many wounded. Mr. President, I want to, if you permit, bring a motion on this in the next legislative day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished Senator George Thompson Sekibo discussed with me the incident that happened while we were on break. And I have no objection that it is our rules that we have the endorsement of at least 1/5 of the senators in sitting. So those in favor that we take his motion the next legislative day say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senate Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. My highly distinguished and respected colleagues, the only order of the day today is a motion standing in the name of Senator Ibrahim Yahya Olorebe and 7 others on the need to strengthen security at the Nigerian airport. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Ibrahim Yahya Olorebe to move the motion. I so move.
Distinguished Senator Dr. Ibrahim Yahya Olorebe, Kwara Central.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. It's my privilege and honor to present this motion, together with 7 of my colleagues as listed on the other paper, that the Senate should note with great concern the report in the Daily Trust newspaper of the 1st of May 2019 on how one citizen of Nigeria, Zainab Ali, was arrested by Saudi drug law enforcement agents on allegation of drug trafficking. That the Senate should be aware that similarly Sahara reporters reported, quoting the Chief Secretary of the Zamfara State Government on the 18th of June 2019, on the effort of the governor to meet with officials of the same Saudi Arabia government to discuss way forward the release of another Nigerian, which is Safarapon Alarama Ibrahim, who has been in detention for almost 2 years over alleged drug trafficking, whose arrest followed a framework initiated from Malam Aminu Kano International Airport from the findings according to the report. The Senate should further be informed there are several other incidents of arrest of innocent Nigerian citizens by Saudi government and other countries on similar allegations of drug trafficking. The Senate should be worried that these innocent citizens are just victims of circumstances, as many of these distasteful distractions would have been curtailed but for security lapses at our airport, inflated by drug syndicates with easy access to plant illicit drugs or innocent travelers on their belongings without their knowledge. The Senate should appreciate that Senator Zainab Ali and 2 other Nigerian citizens were saved from execution by the Saudi government due to the prompt intervention of the Nigerian government after investigation proved they had no knowledge of the drugs in their luggage. The Senate should be aware that the Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Customs Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, and several other aviation security personnel are responsible for the security of our airports. Sadly, some of the staff of these agencies may not be exonerated for the relation of their duties and making our airport unsafe. The Senate should be concerned that some of the actions of some of the personnel in the airport may continue to attract international embarrassment for our country and loss of opportunities by our citizens, especially outside the shores of Nigeria. Accordingly, therefore, I urge the Senate to resolve to mandate the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria to ensure the installation and usage of effective CCTV cameras and other security systems in all Nigerian airports for the purpose of monitoring the airport environment for the avoidance of planting illicit drugs and other illegal activities at the airport. That the Senate will resolve to urge FAN to acknowledge only accredited personnel on duty to be allowed in restricted areas of the airport. And the Senate should urge FAN to give directive on the need for all personnel on duty to be held accountable, questioned, investigated, and punished accordingly to serve as a deterrent should there be any case of an arrest of any Nigerian citizens that passed through Nigeria airport on an allegation of drug trafficking. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Godiya Okasheki.
President of the Senate, my distinguished colleagues, I am Senator Godiya Okasheki representing Nasarawa North Senatorial District. I stand to second a motion heavily moved by my colleague under item 1 of the order paper of today, which I am among the co-sponsors. President of the Senate, sir, my distinguished colleagues, I so second.
Senator Chuka Utazi.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Senator Chukwuka Utazi. I represent the good people of Enugu North Central District of Enugu State. I rise to lend my voice to this very, very important motion brought by no less than 7 senators seated that will look at the security situation at our airports. Mr. President, our hearts bled when we saw the ordeals. This young girl that went innocently accompanied the mother and went for Hajj in Saudi Arabia and was mentally tortured beyond imagination for no fault of hers. Mr. President, Nigerians felt so bad and joined the family, the hard-working father that worked tirelessly to interrogate the security agencies at the airport, resulting that we found out what actually happened. And this young lady was released, and another young man also followed. Mr. President, the situation at the airport is something that causes all of us a source of concern and worry. Because each time people travel out of this country, going out of the country or coming in, you can differentiate the baggage of Nigerians by the way they are bandaged before coming back to the country. You see other people, travelers who are traveling, they just go with their luggages and check in and go their way. But when Nigerians are coming back anywhere they went, they have to bring wrap their luggages because of fear of what will happen to their baggages when they come back to the airport here. When we are also moving out of the country here, you almost want to follow your baggage inside, that most people don't even want to go with several baggages because of fear of what will happen to their they go with only hand luggages. Mr. President, the cost of putting security agencies is not rocket science. It doesn't take much. We need to put effective CCTVs, like I suggested here, and get the manpower to make sure that these CCTVs are used. By so doing, we are going to curtail this trouble, this embarrassment, which we are going through on a daily basis, and making Nigerians travelers who are coming to this country or traveling out feel bad about our country. If we do so, Mr. President, it's going to help this world. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Senator Barrow Jibrin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm Senator Barrow Jibrin, and for the North. Mr. President, this motion is apt. This motion is timely, considering the international embarrassment that this country faces every day, and also the sufferings that innocent Nigerians go through the unpatriotic activities and criminal activities of some people that are working in our airports. These people capitalize on the security lapses in our airports by bringing in activities that are detrimental to the corporate existence of this country, that are detrimental to our people. Therefore, Mr. President, we need to look at these lapses, rearrange our airports, reconfigure our airports, bring in equipments and gadgets that you find in other climes, airports in other climes in the world, so that what these people are capitalizing on to create image problem for this country will henceforth be stopped. We saw what happened to this young lady who is a student, what happened in Saudi Arabia, and some other cities of this country, what they went through. She was to be executed, but God helped through the intervention of several people, and her life was saved. So we shouldn't allow this to continue. We have the capacity, we have the capability, we have the wherewithal, the economic wherewithal to make sure that we rearrange our airport, and we must do that. We must do that to make sure that our airports become safe. So that these unscrupulous people, unpatriotic people, criminals that are working in the airports will not capitalize on what we are having, the lapses we are having as we speak. Mr. President, this motion is well explanatory. It has really captured what we need to look at, and I urge my colleagues to support this motion so that we can bring sanity in how our airports are operated, so that security can be brought to bear, so that we can have airports that are in tandem with what we see in the other climes in the world. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Senator Mahmoud Adamalero.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleague. I remain Mohammed Adamalero, representing KB Central. Mr. President, this is a very good motion. And I want to give a background to what happened when this incident of Zainab Aliyu occurred in Saudi Arabia. As the former chairman of the Senate Committee on Aviation, we summoned the officials of Nigerian Airport Authority or Federal Airport Authority to brief the Senate Committee on Aviation on how this happened. Mr. President, they explained to us that they don't have security equipment. They don't have surveillance cameras. They don't have screening equipment. And luckily for us, it was the time we were considering their 2018 budget. And we told them to itemize all their requirements, and they did. And they came with a figure of well over 4 billion naira to purchase surveillance equipment and also screening equipment at the airport. As I'm speaking to you today, Mr. President, Mr. President, the purchase of this equipment have gone through the Public Procurement Department, and they have got no objection for the purchase of this equipment. And I'm sure within the next 2 to 3 months, this equipment will be in the country and will be installed. Secondly, Mr. President, the security lapses at the airport is not only for the issue of drugs. Even terrorists are threatening our airport. And for that reason, the Federal Airport Authority have recruited well over 2,500 personnel to beef up security at the airport. And they have also secured approval from the Office of the National Security Advisor to arm the security personnel. And they are purchasing well over 2,000 worth of armaments, which will be given to the airport security officials. So virtually all the prayers made in this motion are already being tackled by the former Senate Committee on Aviation in conjunction with the Ministry of Aviation. So it is just a question of time. This equipment will be installed and security will be beefed up at the airport, and the drug bearers will find it difficult to infiltrate our security system at the airport. Mr. President, it is true that of all the airports, Kano Airport is the most porous. This is true. Kano Airport is the most porous airport of all the airports in the country. So the Federal Airport Authority is paying attention to this. And not only that, Nigerian Customs Service, the National Law Drug Enforcement Agency, and the Department of State Security are equally beefing up security at the Kano Airport. So even though this motion has come to its timely, I agree, but most of what has been asked for have been addressed by the Ministry of Aviation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Senator Theodore Oji.
Thank you, Your Excellency.